It's hard to believe we're already more than a month into the season. I'm Scott Hansen, and this is the Week 5 edition of the EA Sports Weekly Recap presented by Lowe's. Earn your Sunday. Some big games to get to. We'll start in the Steel City. The Steelers at home to take on the Indianapolis Colts. And this is the new addition to the Steelers' backfield, Rico Dowdle. He'll power it in from 1 yard out. The Steelers with an important W. They didn't want to start 1-4, and they won't following their victory here. Next up, let's look in on the Browns and the Jets at MetLife Stadium. And it's the Jets' defense that comes up with the big play here. They force the errant throw, it's picked off, and they've got room, they've got blockers, and no one's gonna get him. Touchdown. The Jets had to work for it, but they win it by a field goal. Next up, why don't we take a look at this week's NFL injury report? The big news this week, the Cleveland Browns and their outstanding cover corner. He's dealing with a very painful injury to his ribs. The news, maybe not as bad as originally feared, but he may be on the shelf for 3, possibly 4 weeks. Time now for our Player of the Week from Week 5. And we'll congratulate this man, Josh Allen. He was fantastic in the win at SoFi, running the offense as well as can be with 4 touchdown passes. The Bills move to 4-1, looking good as they get the win here. Here now, around the NFL. Next up, let's show you some numbers. Here are your league leaders in receiving through the first month plus of the season. With that, a look at the rest of what went on in week number 5. 30 teams in action, with Kansas City and Carolina the first to have their respective bye weeks. And that's a wrap for this week. For all the hardworking men and women in the studio, Scott Hansen saying goodnight. We'll see you again next week, right here on EA Sports. High five! I'm Scott Hansen, everyone, and this is the Week 5 edition of the EA Sports Weekly Recap, presented by Lowe's. Earn your Sunday. Some big
This is a city that's hosted more Super Bowls than almost anybody else. And, oh yeah, Brock, they've won a couple of their own along the way, too. We're in the home of the Buccaneers, Tampa, Florida, and Raymond James Stadium. Coming up, we have a good one for you. Between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. On the Steelers sideline, head coach Mike McCarthy. These guys hoping to get back to 500 with a win here. On the opposite sideline, the head coach of the Buccaneers, Todd Bowles. These guys mired in a losing streak, hoping a trip home is going to help them snap out of it. With Brock Hewitt, I'm Kate Scott. This is Chase McLaughlin on to handle the opening kick. And away we go beneath the Florida heat. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. So the Steeler offense getting out there for its opening drive of the game. They're going to be let out by someone possibly playing his final NFL season. Still going in his early 40s. It is Aaron Rodgers.
A win is a win for him. Whether he goes for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, Kate, or maybe he just finds the end zone once like last week. And being the team-first guy he is, he'd be more than happy to end the game with just one touchdown pass, or maybe even no touchdown passes, so long as they get the win in the end.
They'll start on the ground. Gallo stops there, but that gets them the first. A big gain before the defense got to him. Looks like about 22 yards. You know, there's been nobody worse running the football this season, Brock, than these guys, to put it bluntly. But on that play, it looked like they were taking some notes from the league's best with how they advanced it.
The notes being taken were the defense were reading the press clippings, and maybe you shouldn't, because that's a reminder in the NFL on any given Sunday. You better do your job or you can be embarrassed.
Look at this. 3 tight ends to the right on his 1st and 10. Take him down here. Pressure gets to him at the 36. Vita Vea. And after the play, it's 2nd down now and 17.
When they were in their defensive meetings this week, that's exactly how you draw it up. Play sound zone defense. Give that quarterback nowhere to go. Let that pass rush get home.
Throwing on 2nd. Rogers. He let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass.
Hate to be Mr. Negative guy, but a sack 2 plays ago, an incompletion right there. All that's missing, Kate, is an interception on this play. You're going to hand this quarterback a misfortune trifecta that nobody wants.
Last pass unsuccessful. Let's see what they do on 3rd down. The Steelers calling their first timeout. And after using an early one, 2 left for him to spend. No connection on the last play. Now it's 3rd down. Rogers set to pass. Got a lot behind this one. Downfield it goes. Forces that one, and it's intercepted. That's Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Buccaneers get the football on the first turnover of the contest. Now, in case they haven't paid attention in the narrative this week, Brock, let that be their final reminder. This is the league's #1 defense they're facing this time.
Yeah, these guys got to the stadium early. You're #1. You're playing with confidence. You're playing with juice. And you're playing to take the ball away.
So here now are the Buccaneers on offense to begin their first drive. Steering the ship, approaching a decade now in the NFL, the former #1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield.
This is an instance where we got a good offense, really good offense, but it's running up against a great defense. And for all the success they've had moving the ball this year, they know this will be their stiffest test yet.
And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, Kate, that might be a little bit of a disappointing run to him. He wanted more. They always do. That's exactly what they were after offensively to get this drive moving.
Working on 2nd down. Baker. Grabbed by Chris Godwin. Get in there for the stop. We'll give him about 9 on the play. That was good for a Tampa Bay 1st down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
New set of downs for him. They'll start at the 38. Irving on the inside give. Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Play brought to an end by Jalen Ramsey. Sure seems like running at a blitzing defense shouldn't work out too often, Brock, but right there it did nicely for him.
Yeah, football's kind of a funny game, Kate, because it could be super complex. Yeah. You get into a lot of language and a lot of detail, and then other times, like, just run away from the blitz. Just run away from it, and good things can happen.
This is hauled in by Ahn on the right side. And they drop him with a big hit, but it's going to sting worse for the defense. A big gain, and the chain's moving too. They got 21 yards on the play, and the Bucs have the first.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
He's got it. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mecca Egbuka, his 3rd of the year. The tip of the cap to this offense, Brock. A bit of a surprising opening touchdown. Not because of the guys on O, but because they're facing the NFL's best defense.
You know, sometimes, Kate, when you're facing, I don't know, the best pitcher in baseball, they like to say you better get them early. Because if you don't get them early, you're not going to get them at all. This defense will make some adjustments, but kudos for them to take advantage of that opening drive.
Brooklyn with the extra points. And that's good for a 7-0 lead.
Steelers, nothing.
McLaughlin has it on the team, and he's ready to send this flight. Returning it from the 4. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. All right, Steelers to the line now. 1st and 10. The inside give to Dowdle. Powering his way forward a bit. Give him about 6 there to begin this drive. Where are the rushing numbers from Dowdle a week ago? 15 carries, 57 yards.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Run picks up 6, so that means it's 2nd and 4. Rodgers will look to throw. Complete to DK Metcalf. On the move, past the 40. Into the red zone. And he's all the way home. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Pass complete to DK Metcalf. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Chris Boswell for the point after. This one splits the uprights. It is good. And that ties things at 7.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. Fielded at the 7. He stopped on the run back at the 27. The Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield ready for this next possession. And he's been having the kind of start he prepared for all offseason. And it's good enough to be top 5 in passing yards league-wide. Bucks to the line. 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Mayfield. Right side, hauled in by Godwin. And they're going to get him to the ground after a 16-yard gain. And that is good for a Buccaneer 1st down.
You just love that kind of execution because it's able to make an impact, Kate, beyond simply getting the 1st down. That yardage, it really sets them up now to be aggressive with a new set of downs.
Looking right, and he finds him. And he gets back to the line, but no more.
We give a lot of credit to receivers, and rightfully so, Kate, for them going into coverage and making a catch. I don't think we give enough credit to tight ends. I know they're big, I know they're physical, but to go into double coverage, take that contact, and come away with the catch, that's a big-time effort.
And it's a nice game, but they needed just 1 more yard to move the chains. There's 5 on that play. They need 5 more now on 3rd down.
The difference right there, Kate, between that gain and a big hit for a loss, some really quick decision-making. He made a quick read, saw the running back was going to get hit if he handed it, and he pulls it himself for a positive gain.
It's complete. This is Nguka. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
They call 3rd downs money downs for a reason, Kate, because it takes everybody offensively to cash in. Excellent protection, set the table for the QB to get the completion and the yards necessary.
Right back to Nguka. That's caught. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the 1st down. No doubt they take a repeat of how this game began, Brock, and that play has them on their way towards it.
Scripting for success. They'll keep pressing the advantage, too, until some resistance has got to finally appear.
That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. More from Raymond James Stadium coming up after the break. Baker is set, 1st and 10. And after that last connection, approaching 1,500 passing yards on the season. They're going to pitch it out to Irving. This time they've got him. He can't break another tackle. He will go down behind the line. Man, some of these middle backers are so impressive these days, Brock. No problems at all for him to range downhill and cut that play down behind the line.
Kind of the calling card of the position played today. They're not as big as they once were, but boy, can they run. As you said, whether it's downhill or sideline to sideline like that.
On 2nd down, Mayfield. Left side into the hands of Hurst. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them. And the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Got his man. It's on him. And he is well clear of that marker. That effort's going to set them up with a 1st and goal.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. A tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
Here's a give inside to Gainwell. And he's going to reach the goal line. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Kenneth Gainwell is 4th for this season. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out. And that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that could score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the...
Pressure gets there, right side, it's blocked! And he's dragged down. It was a long shot after the block anyway, and they're unable to add anything on top of that touchdown. After seeing his point after blocked, he's got to stay out there and kick it off. Return coming from the 6. And wide receiver DK Metcalf set for another drive. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you've got to imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
To throw is Rodgers. And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete. Looking for Michael Pittman Jr. on that throw. So 2nd down coming up. From the gun, a run for Dowdle. Breaks the tackle. He's got space ahead. Oh, that one did some damage as he's finally hauled down. Gain of about 24. 1st down coming up. Well, he's got his early highlights, Brock, but you know he wants to add a few more to that reel before this game wraps up.
There's no question about that. And you want to get that century mark. That's a number that running backs are proud of. And stacking runs like that will sure help.
And we'll run it for the first time with Jalen Warren. Still going past the 40. And he's all the way down to the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that 1st down. A nice early return there. They're going to be more than happy with that one, Brock. And could be a huge boost to their offense if his ground game can get going at this pace.
Every offense in this league searches for explosives. How can we find it? It's often through the air, but when you get it on the ground like that, boy, is it a huge bonus.
Now here's Rodgers. Caught into the hands of Freiermuth. Tackle made at the 10. 1st and goal coming up.
Tight ends will eat up every one of those opportunities to show and prove they could be chain movers as well. Even as they get more and more recognition in this league, they're still constantly working to prove that they're playmakers too.
1st and goal. Here's Dowdle. And he only gets this one down to the 9. Going just 1 yard, I think, on the run. Still some work to do here on 2nd and goal.
It's a gain of a yard. brings up second and goal at the 9-yard line.
Here's Rodgers. And that one's going to be incomplete. Third down coming up.
Each incompletion, each turnover, each sack, you can almost just feel this offense's frustration. Really imperative this quarterback stay positive. Just keep chopping away.
Here he goes, third and long. It's a screen play to Warren. And he's going to be brought down before he can even get to the marker. So now it's going to be fourth down.
It's plays like that, King, right wrong, where I sit and judge defense. I judge the awareness. I judge how well that coordinator's got him equipped to see what's going on the field, and not just see it, but attack it. And they devoured that screen game on third down.
They'll leave the offense out there and try fourth and goal from the 4. Before that play clock can expire, Mike McCarthy finds an official and calls timeout. They're down to their final one in this half. They'll leave the offense out there and try fourth and goal from the 4. They'll go for it. Rodgers. And they don't get the catch they need there. Their hand was forced, Brock. Had to try and go for it, but they turn it over on downs.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
All right, first and 10, going heavy to the right side here. 3 tight ends. One of the tight ends motioning to the left. Irving on the counter. And this is a tough one. Met back at his own 2-yard line for the loss. So it'll be second and long upcoming on the other side of this 2-minute warning. It's the Bucs who are in front here at Raymond James. With the wrong way on first down, Brock. Here comes second and 12. Once again, Irving. This is close, but he is not in the end zone, Brock. By less than a yard, they avoid the safety. But boy, that was close. These last 2 snaps, they have forced this drive to what might be its last play here, Brock, and we can confidently say there's not going to be another run here on third down.
Yeah, I think it's time to let the passing game get going and really trust your quarterback here who's got to compensate for 2 negative plays.
And that's not going to be enough. Not going to get them the first. The tackle is made, so we'll likely see the Bucs punt team now on fourth down. The Steelers use their third and final timeout. Bucs getting set up to punt now on fourth down. On comes Riley Dixon. That's fielded at the 46. And a good return as he gets him up across midfield and into enemy territory. The Steelers, then running back Rico Dowdle back out now. They took their shot on fourth and goal, came away empty-handed, so a lot to like, Brock, but just need to find a way to punch it in this time. So first down from the 41. Now Rodgers sends this to the end zone. And they are not going to get it all to begin the drive. Wanted to begin and end the series in just one snap, but they look to the end zone unanswered. So it's second down.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
Rodgers to throw, second down. It's a completion to Michael Pittman Jr. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line.
A gain of 19 yards. And the Steeler first down.
To throw, Rodgers. And the rush is going to win this rep. They get to him. Steelers working with a sense of urgency from the hurry-up clock, continuing to run. Second down, it's Rogers. And the defender is there with him every step of the way downfield to make the hit and break up that catch. It's third down. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
They're in long for him here. Throwing all the way to the end zone here. Defender gets his hand in there and breaks it off. A possible touchdown denied. That's going to bring up fourth down. Didn't see a whole lot of room to fit that passing, but throwing into double coverage. How's Coach going to feel about that one?
Yeah, that's a no-no. I experienced that as a player and now as a coach. Please don't do that again.
And he missed it. It's no good. But I do see a flag out there. Let's see what the call is. A fortunate break for them as they get a gift with roughing the kicker. Their offense heading back out to keep things going.
Automatic first down.
You hate to see this on fourth down for that defense, roughing the kicker. And now they've got to face a first down inside the red zone. From the red zone now. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock. But down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
After the incompletion, they come up on 2nd and 10. Rogers to throw. Firing end zone, and this is hauled in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DK Metcalf. His second of the game, doubling his season total. Knock this through, and they'll take a lead into the break. Accuracy perfect there as it's center cut. And they'll take the lead.
14, Buccaneers 13.
So we'll see if it's a kick return that ends on half, or if we get a play from scrimmage, as this one's away. On the return, here comes Cameron Johnson. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. So just a one-point game here at the break, Brock, as we go over to the EA Sports Halftime Reports with our buddy Scott Hansen.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. Our tour around the NFL starts now. At Mile High, the Broncos at home to take on the Super Bowl champs, the Seattle Seahawks. And it's Sam Darnold to last year's Offensive Player of the Year, Jackson Smith and Jigba. 31 yards for the score. The Seahawks are playing well. They improved to 5-1 with this victory. From there, why don't we go to South Philly? Look in on the Eagles. They're playing host to the Carolina Panthers. And it's last year's Offensive Rookie of the Year, Teteroa McMillan. He's going to find an opening down the field and pull this one in. It's a 48-yard touchdown. The Panthers up by 3, 13-10 at the half. Lastly, let's take a look at our Week 6 impact player thus far. A lot of candidates to choose from, but we'll go with this man.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Johnson now on the return. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. So as the Buccaneer offense heads back out, let's take a look at their coordinator, Zach Robinson. In its first year running the Bucs offense for the former NFL QB, he was with the rival Falcons the last 2 years, and before that, he was a trusted assistant of Sean McVay with the Rams. Tampa Bay bringing the offense to the line. It's 1st and 10. Baker now off the play fake. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Jamel Dean makes the play. And the Steelers will take over as he records his first interception of our season. And it doesn't matter who gets that ball to start the second half because he picks it off on the very first play.
I wonder at halftime, down there in that locker room on the whiteboard, if that defensive coaching staff just said simply, go get the ball. It's exactly what they do, and it totally changes the complexion of this second half.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Rodgers set to pass. And that looked good for a moment, Brock, but they hit Jars at 3. That's going to bring up 2nd. But we all know that turnover puts him out there against an offense in field goal range already, Brock. The defense's goal, keep it as lengthy an attempt as they can.
And that's right, and that will help, Kate. Like that first down incompletion, and now you're kind of honestly thinking, can I knock him backwards? Can I create a tackle for loss and may even take him out of field goal range?
Throwing on 2nd, Rodgers. And that's nearly intercepted, but couldn't hang on. Just a harmless incompletion. It's 3rd down.
Oh, that was such an opportunity lost. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points on the series. And instead, he just couldn't quite hang on.
Throw here, 3rd down. That's complete to the rookie out of Alabama. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. He'll get 16 yards on that play. And the Steelers have a 1st down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
There's the give to Dowdle. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2. Well, you taught me, Buck. Sometimes it works, and sometimes, like there, almost nothing from this. They just run it right into the teeth of that blitz.
And the thing, too, about that success is get ready to see more blitzes. The coordinators love to dial it up.
Rodgers now on 2nd down. Too much lead on that throw. That ball's incomplete ahead of his target.
You know what that route is called, right, Kate? OTB. Over the ball. And those are the ones you've got to hit. You've got to be able to play offense from the inside out. Got to find a completion right there.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Rodgers will look to throw. Hits his target in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Pat Freiermuth from 11 yards out. Well, we all know that he's somebody they like to have working down near the end zone, Brock, and there is so many ways they know how to use him down there.
Yeah, things are constantly different down there when you're trying to defend him, which is what makes defending him so tough, borderline impossible at times. He can make the smallest little tweaks to his route just like a receiver would, and it's a totally different animal, a nightmare for these defenses.
Boswell to add the PAT. Send right down the middle and good. And the lead is up to 8.
Steelers 21, Buccaneers 13. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Johnson with a return here. And in the end, only able to get this up to his 25-yard line. The Buccaneers and Bucky Irving ready for their next possession. And his performance has ailed against what has been a very stout defensive front. This hasn't been a contest to stack up there among his better showings, partner. They've made it real difficult to find any holes to hit, and there's been absolutely no space for him to work with. Mayfield set to pass. And he'll work this one up to the 28. Tackling like his dad, Joey Porter Jr. making that play.
Dude, I don't know why every once in a while I get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. And one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. You're at a premium in this league.
We've set it down from 37.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Now Mayfield. Right side, hauled in by Godwin. And he's going to get about 3 here, almost all of it on the catch. The defense was there immediately. Picked up a few on that first down play, so now we've got 2nd and 7.
At the 40-yard line.
To throw is Mayfield. And this throw is going to be incomplete. 3rd down.
Yikes. As that pass falls to the ground, Kate, you kind of just sense their desperation, just kind of oozing out of them. Running out of time to start connecting on more of these and really break open the scoring in a way they just have not been able.
And they're going to take him down here. Pressure gets to him at the 36. That's the safety. Into a 4th and 11.
Dixon in punt formation for Tampa Bay.
Secures this at the 17. And he's brought down before the return gets far. The Steelers and wide receiver DK Metcalf set for another drive. And he has kept his pace up in the second half. His quarterback more than happy to keep throwing it his way, considering what he's been able to do with his looks all game. Offense overloading left side. It's 1st and 10. On the counter, Dowdle. They get to him. He's hit, brought down after a gain of about 10. And that is going to be good for a Steelers 1st down.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know it can set the table for more.
1st down, and they go right back to it. It's a solid block in there. Springs him for 8. It's going to be 2nd down. Well, this certainly has been a memorable contest for him. His coaches, man, they're going to take this kind of output every single game.
This goes a little beyond the expectations they have for him, maybe even for himself. What impresses me so much, Kate, the guy just doesn't tire, getting stronger, literally, as this game's going on.
And this will only complicate matters for 3rd down, partner. They're sent backwards. A great call in a short yardage situation right there, Brock, and that was exactly the type of front that defense needed to have.
Yeah, I agree with you. I love the X's and O's of it, and then even more, the guys going out there and executing it, pulling the trigger to create that loss.
Now Rodgers on this 3rd and short. This finds its target. That's Metcalf. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the 1st.
And the Steeler 1st down.
Trying it left side. Dowdle. And the stop is made. 1st down coming up. It's a gain of 11. Okay, so they sent the blitz, but it almost seemed to backfire there, Brock. They ran through it for a pretty nice game.
Yeah, because there's a little boomer bust, right? Is an offense, as a QB, if you see that and run away from the blitz, it can be effective like it was there.
And he's not going to manage to get back to the line even. Tackled for a loss. We've got 2nd and 11. With each carry he gets, Brock, I'm starting to wonder, is this going to be the last touch that he gets in this game? Because it hasn't been a great performance for him.
No, individually, collectively, and you can look up front, right? They've just not been winning the battle enough push, enough drive to get this running game going.
And he's going to be stopped before the marker, but nice job. 9 yards on that catch and run, Brock. It's 3rd and short. So we hit the end of the 3rd quarter. It's the Steelers with the ball. They are leading, but not by a lot. Eighth play of the drive now. They need 2 to keep it going. Shotgun give now to Dowdle. There's the stop. Looks to be about 7 yards on that play. And that is good for Pittsburgh. First down.
He and this ground game, Kate, have seen such a steady dose of work. And what you hope is all of those body blows throughout can lead to a knockout punch like that.
Going to the ground again on first. And they're going to have goal to go as he stopped at the 6. And this is now a 100-yard game for him after that last carry. Man, what a strong day he's had running it for this offense. All set up for an insurance score here. It's first and goal. Here's Dowdle again. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Going to be second down.
Guessing everybody in the huddle on the sidelines sure want a little bit more from that run, but you didn't go backwards. Still in a great spot. I can't wait to see what they do here on second and goal.
5-yard line.
Second and goal coming up. 5 yards to the end zone. The pitch to Dowdle. He's hit and driven backwards. This is going to force him into third and goal. Ooh, talk about a bad look there, Brock. Going jumbo set and still moving backwards after that play.
I don't think you're talking to this defense, Kate, because I think they thought that was an excellent look to knock that thing backwards.
Yeah, good point, good point. Big play coming up here as everyone gets set for third and goal. Now they're going to throw out of the gun. And it's incomplete on third and goal.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Boswell able to knock it through. And it's now a two-possession game as the lead grows to 11.
It doesn't take a math major, Kate, to realize how important that field goal was. It's now a two-score game really late and puts them in the driver's seat to go and finish this thing with the win.
Chris Boswell to kick off for
Now Boswell on to send this away. Here's a return from the 7. Showing a little burst so far. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40. Todd Bowles sending his Bucks out for another drive. And as they get set, partner, gotta imagine they're bringing some urgency with them to the field this drive, too.
Yeah, I think you and I both know in calling these NFL games that sense of urgency can be replaced by full-blown panic in a hurry. So find a way to possess the ball and, more importantly,
he's in trouble, not going to get away. They drop him at the 29. Alex Highsmith. And that's the 50th sack of his NFL career. In a real troublesome spot here, Brock. That sack has him set up second down and 21. After the sack, Mayfield. This is hauled in by Ott on the right side. And no shot at getting upfield after making this catch, so give him 1 on that short completion. Not an enviable spot as they come up third and long. Putting a receiver in motion. Here's Baker. Catch made left side by Abuka. And on third down, they wind up going the wrong way. That one goes backwards. Offense in the hurry up here.
Loss on the play. It's fourth down.
Here he goes. Got to have this on fourth down. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Jalen Ramsey. They're going to have it after his second interception of the season.
Is a turnover on down.
Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's first and 10. They'll go with Dowdle on a run. They got him a good handful there as it brings up second down.
It's One of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You can stick to the ground, you can throw beyond the sticks, and really create some indecision now defensively.
And he's taken down as they very quickly get into first and goal. Timeout taken by the Buccaneers. They're first.
First and goal.
May still have 2 to work with in this final quarter.
Kind of just feel it, don't you? Trying to close out this game, just keep leaning on that somebody who has produced and made the most of every one of his touches throughout.
First and goal, Warren. Give him just 1 yard, I think, on the run. Still some work to do here on second and goal. Tampa spends its second timeout now. And with another one gone, they're going to have just 1 remaining this game. Second and goal from the 9 here. Back to Warren. And this defense standing tall. They keep him out of the end zone. That timeout taken by the Buccaneers, and that's their final one. And this could be an issue the rest of the way with no way to stop this clock.
That's twice now where runs have not gotten them into the end zone, but you've kind of set yourself up. Actually, you've set yourself up really well for a little play action right here.
Big play coming up here as everyone gets set for third and goal. And that is incomplete. They tried for the end zone, but no luck yet, Brock. That forces fourth and goal.
As I watch practices today, Kate, both college and professionally, one thing is abundantly clear. Teams spend so much more time in the red zone. They know it's the money zone. And defensively, if you can force incompletions and knock it away and lead teams for field goals, you've got a great chance to win. That kid, well, it throws a roadblock up on some of the remaining avenues to get back in this game and really leaves only 1 remaining. It's going to take 2 touchdowns if they want a shot at it. We know those odds, they're getting pretty long.
Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Now Boswell on to send this away. And it didn't look like he was seriously considering a return there, did it? So that touchback going to come out to the 35. The Buccaneers out there once again gives us a chance to look at who's coming up on their schedule. They'll be at Carolina, then return home for Atlanta. Good starting field position for the Buccaneers. 1st and 10. Pocket collapsing, and he's going to pay the price. Offense up to the line fast.
A loss of 11. It's 2nd and 21 at the 24-yard line.
Second down, here's Baker. Catch made by Bucky Irving. And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains. Couldn't get the play off in time. We've arrived at our 2-minute warning. Buccaneers, 14 points back. Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. Throwing, Baker. It's complete. This is Angluka. The stop is made. Defense drives him out after a gain of about 13. And that will set up a Bucs first down.
And a first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Here's Mayfield. He's got Hurst over the middle. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. Buccaneers hustling to the line. They're in the hurry up.
That's another Buccaneers first down.
Baker now. Completes this one to Otten. And this is going to be out of bounds, so a gain of about 13 on the play. And that is good for a Tampa Bay first down.
That's another Buccaneers first down. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Mayfield will look to throw. And that's him on the quick hitter. And he's going to get about 3, but almost nothing after that. Tackle made quickly after he made the catch.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up
Working on second down. Baker.
At the 19-yard line.
And that was probably their last gasp. It's intercepted. And the Steelers Steelers will take over as he records his first interception of our season. Oh, man, Brock, they decided to air it out in pursuit of a touchdown that time, but it's intercepted, and the visit to the red zone comes up empty.
And that one stings, Kate. It really does. You have a limited opportunity that looks in that close, particularly as we get through the second half. But once you have to finish with points.
The Steelers and wide receiver DK Metcalf set for another drive. And he's been reading the coverage, dare I say, Brock, even better than his quarterback has all game. I mean, he just continues to find openings and make plays in this second half. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one. So the Steelers come in and take this on the road. And it's not quite a full game shutout, Brock, but keeping that other side off the board in the second half, that sure went a long way towards securing them this win. Made things a lot easier for everyone else to operate in the closing stages of the game. So that's it for us here. Brock Heward, our crew, I'm Kate Scott. This has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners, as with that, we sign off from Tampa.
Oftentimes, we see teams move on from their starting running back after one contract, but not here. One team has agreed to a new deal to keep one of the best backs in the game right where he is. Hi, everyone, and welcome in. Scott Hansen here, and this is your EA Sports Weekly Recap for Week 6, presented by Lowe's. Plenty of action to get you caught up on. Let's start in Tampa. The Bucks at home to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's a man who has posted 22 years in the NFL. This his final season, Aaron Rodgers. Hooking up with his man for the touchdown here, one of 3 touchdown passes for him in the ballgame. The Steelers get back to 500. They even their mark at 3-3. From there, why don't we go to South Philly? Look in on the Eagles. They're playing host to the Carolina Panthers. And this is Teteroa McMillan. He's so good working down the field, hauls this one in stride. It's a 48-yard touchdown. The Panthers come away with a victory. They win by 6. Moving on, time for a look at the list no one wants to be on. It's the NFL Injury Report. The big news comes from the Atlanta Falcons and their starting running back. He was removed from last week's game and was moving very gingerly due to an injury to his hip. He'll likely be sidelined for about a month, possibly even a little less than that. Time now to name the EA Sports Player of the Week for Week 6. And we'll highlight this man, Drake May. He was outstanding in the victory over the Jets, running the offense as well as can be with 4 touchdown passes. The Pats win their 2nd straight as they get the victory here. And briefly, a look here at the full quartet of offensive and defensive top performers. Now that we're into the season's 2nd month, let's get a look at the passing leaders in the NFL. The leader through 6 weeks, Caleb Williams. With that, a look at the rest of the scores from Week 6, with Cincinnati, Detroit, Miami, and Minnesota all getting a rest on their bye week. That'll do it for us. Until next week, Scott Hansen in Orlando, good night from all of us at EA Sports.
Along one sideline, there's Mike McCarthy, offensive coordinator here in New Orleans from 2000 through 2004. His guys not quite sure what type of team they're going to be this season after a 3-3 start. And across the field, one of his former Dallas lieutenants who went on to run their own squads, it's Kellen Moore. His guys are ready as they always are to play in front of this home crowd, hoping the extra surge of momentum pays off in a win. Kate Scott, Brock Heward with you up here in the booth, and we have got safety Justin Reed handling our opening kick. And we're off and running from New Orleans. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. So the Steeler offense getting out there for its opening drive of the game. They're led out by one of the game's most tenured veterans and most decorated quarterbacks of all time, Aaron Rodgers.
All the ingredients are there for him to have a big game. It's up really to he and his offense now to follow that recipe that so many other teams have against him this year. And really, jumping off to a quality start on the opening series, go a long ways.
They'll start on the ground. Dowdle. And gets him about 3 yards here on the game's first offensive snap. We get a look at his rushing numbers from last week here. What he was able to do in support of that win. 15 carries, 112 yards. After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7. On the ground again with Dowdle. He's going to be stopped after a gain of 9. That was what they needed. First down coming up.
I don't think we're ever going to get away from the stat line of turnovers and winning that turnover margin being the biggest singular key in the NFL, Kate. But I'll tell you what, when you run for 100 yards plus, you win 70% of the time. They did a week ago with this guy, and he's off to an excellent start.
First and 10. Here's a run to Dowdle. And that carry only nets 1 on the plunge up the gut. Now, after battling on that run, we see one of their linemen appears to be injured and in need of some attention. Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. Shotgun handoff to Warren. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Drew Phillips making the tackle.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Third down, they need 7. Rodgers set to pass. That's incomplete left side. So they couldn't throw for it on 3rd down, and as a result, they're headed off the field earlier than expected on their opening series.
Keeping them off the scoreboard, well, that's already a win defensively. Not letting them even cross midfield, that's a cherry on top.
The Saints take over first.
So now we'll get a look at the other offense as the Saints take the field. Bringing them out, the Rookie of the Year runner-up from last season. Here is Tyler Shuck.
Count me, I'll raise my hand. I'm really interested to see what this is going to look like. The league's best defense and how you go about as a quarterback attacking them. I know this. You've got to be on point because this defense makes you earn everything.
Now here's a look at his production from last week and the part he played in his offense's victory. 5 catches, 82 yards. Got 9 of the 10 with that last grab. Need to get the last yard now on 2nd. Here's Travis Etienne on the ground. Nothing doing on 2nd. They get to him behind the line. Now it's going to be 3rd and longer.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
Shuck on 3rd down. It's complete. This is Olave. A gain of 12. And it's going to be first down in New Orleans. All right. Now things starting to pick up a little bit after a slow start. Brock, last things fans want to see is a couple of uninspiring drives to begin a game.
Yep, they get the first and generate just a little excitement that we could see maybe our first touchdown here, or at least avoid another quick punt.
And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
That wasn't going anywhere else on that play. It's one of the ones called specifically for the tight end because they know he's able to get a good release off that play action, and then he gets himself in space to do some damage.
And that zone read goes nowhere. They didn't even get back to the line.
It's easy for me to say up here in the friendly confines of the booth, Kate, but that was not the right read. And you hate seeing him absorb yet another hit at the end of the play. You never want him taking unnecessary shots throughout this game.
Finds his back. Etienne. This is not going to get it done on 3rd down. They catch it behind the line. This goes for a loss.
2 yards.
So out comes somebody with plenty of experience punting here in New Orleans. Spent 4 years at Tulane, Ryan Wright. That's grabbed at the 10. And he gets him out of the deep part of their half. This is out across the 20. As the Steelers get back to the field, let's take a look at Brandon Staley, the Saints defensive coordinator. This is year 2 for Staley now with the Saints after he spent the previous 5 years out west with the 49ers, Rams, and most notably those 3 years as head coach of the Chargers. From the gun, a run for Dowdle. Maybe he'll be stopped after just about a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on 2nd.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down. They'll hand it off. It's the end around. That is exactly why you rally to the football. Got through one tackle, but the next guy gets him for a loss.
You know what that felt like to me, Kate? That felt like a little bit of overthinking, where he's just waiting for the perfect lane and the breakaway run. But against defenses in this league, you hesitate, you get tackled for a loss.
Now throw, 3rd and long. Has a man downfield. It's Pittman. And he's going to be stopped, but not before he picks up 18 yards and a new set of downs. Well, he was happy to take a backseat in favor of getting the win last week, Brock, but we all know receivers, right? I think he'd like a few more catches in this one.
Yeah, books have been written about certain receivers that want their touches. And when you produce, you're going to get more touches.
So fresh set of downs now from the 39. So that connection for a first will bring us to the end of the first. Couple of zeros on the board right now. Back to the Superdome of Caesar in just a bit. Second quarter, all queued up and ready to go. It's Steeler football. They've got it first to begin the fray. Now kicks play to Warren. Escapes the defender. There's the hit. They're going to force him out of play with a gain of about 12. And that's going to give the Steelers the first down.
Yak, yak, yak. That's what it's all about in this league as a running back. Can you get those hard yards after initial contact? This dude just got it done.
Now here's Rodgers. This is thrown towards a defender instead, man. He's the one who makes a play on the football. That's not what this offense wants. Incomplete on first down. You never want to overlook those Mike backers when you're throwing short, Brock. So often it's those guys and not the corners or the safeties that are going to be the ones in there breaking those up.
Yeah, and so often these linebackers of today, these middle linebackers, are just oversized safeties. They can really run and play the ball as he just did.
No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on third down.
Absolutely no fear in his game. Even one of the smaller defenders out there, he isn't afraid to go charging into all those linemen and dish out some physical play himself to make that stop.
Third down, and they need to get 10. Now Rodgers absolutely fires this one right side. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jonas Sanker. And the Saints get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season.
Just kind of had that sense that he was anticipating that throw all the way. And his defense, well, they're anticipating another win at the end of this game. We know that. You win the turnover battle more often than not, you win the ball game.
The Saints enjoying some good field position to start this drive off. 1st and 10 coming up. Back to throw. Shuck. He'll drop this down to 8. field there, but stopped on his own side at the 49.
A gain of 9.
Got 9 of the 10 with that last grab. Need to get the last yard now on second. Shuck's going to throw here. And this is going to end up an incomplete pass, partner, so that brings up third down.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Third down run from Achane. Give him 2 yards. Stop made pretty quickly there. And that is going to be first down Saints.
See, I get it. Fans will measure a running back's merit by touchdowns, yards, fantasy football world we live in. But as coaches and teammates, Kate, they want something a little bit more. They want to see plays like that. A guy who will always get the short yards in a critical spot like that.
And some good running after the catch. He's able to turn that into a gain of 7 on first.
Hey, you like these results on first. That completion right there, right in the window where all options are now available to you on second down. That playbook wide open.
Same target, it's Johnson again. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. Offense is set, first and 10.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
At the shotgun, they'll give it to Achane. And second down's going to be a good bit tougher. He can't even get back to the line. This play loses yards.
Tackled back at the 33-yard line.
Shuck. He finds Johnson. They bring him down, but we all saw how that one looked, right? There was a face mask involved, and the flag is out.
Face mask. Defense.
So the completion doesn't end on the tackle. Add another 15 for the face mask, and it's a pretty good play offensively. Working inside the red zone. That one's incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
The lack of points and the lack of yards have just gone hand in hand here in the first half, and they both really trace back to the same root cause, an inability to consistently find and exploit any opening in what's been a very sound defensive game plan.
Pressure closing in. They're going to get him back at the 20. It's T.J. Watt. Their first sack of the game after they had 3 in their victory last week. 5 DBs out there for the Steelers. Third down. Throwing. Shuck. He's going to run for it. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. Now, we are still scoreless in this one as we've reached our 2-minute warning. More from Caesars Superdome in just a moment. They're going for this, thinking touchdown, obviously, but they could also get a first down. Trying for it, it's Achane. And he gets in, touchdown! So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Charlie Smith on to try the extra point. This one splits the uprights. It is good. And they've broken this tie. They've taken a 7-point lead. Reed now to kick this one away. Has this at the 6. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. Now the offense getting set to go for the Steelers. Still in search of their first points as we work our way through the middle of this game. The score 7-0. New set of downs for them from the 31. They'll start the drive with Warren. And they'll take this ahead for 7. We've got 2nd and 3 now.
cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity to play with whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
Throwing on second, Rogers. It's a screen play to Warren. And defenders arriving in support to finish him off at the line.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Here's Rogers. That finds Pittman, complete. Small gain on the play, maybe 4 yards. And that is going to be good for a Steelers first down.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
The Steelers calling their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. 1st and 10 from the 43. To throw, Rogers. Taking a shot deep here. Good coverage on that deep ball downfield. Throw knocked away. It's going to send it back to the line for second.
Safe to say there's been an early disconnect between the planning phase and the execution phase for this offense. Might be time, Kate, really to get back to basics, to the calls that you just trust the most.
Rogers now on 2nd down. Throw left side, finds Freiermuth. And he's across midfield with a gain that sets him up for 3rd and very short. Pittsburgh will go ahead and use its 2nd timeout. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. They got 9 on their last play, Brock, so just a final yard now to go here on 3rd down. Rogers will look to throw. Gonna let this one fly deep downfield. It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. Kool-Aid McKinstry has the INT. And the Saints get the football back with minimal time to go in our half. 1st and 10. Saints find themselves with some good field position starting out.
The Saints take over 1st and 10.
They send him left out of the slot.
38-yard line.
Now Shuck to throw. That'll be incomplete, and the clock shows 10 seconds left.
Kate, it just kind of feels like they've met their match with this defense. So many plays, well, they just not ended the way they were drawn up. Fortunately, well, their defense is doing the same. You really feel like which offense can get into rhythm is going to find a way to win this game.
2nd down, here's Shuck. He finds Johnson over the middle. Taken down, but not before he picks up 11 on the play. And that is going to give the Saints a first down. We get a timeout here. 5 seconds to go in the half. Shuck looking to pass here. He's going to try to drop it in deep right. And his final shot of the half will not connect. That falls incomplete. No time remaining in our first half. So a 1-possession game, Brock, after our first 2 quarters. Now let's throw it over to our pal Scott Hansen. He's got our halftime report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Scott Hansen and crew, thrilled to be with you from the Orlando studios at EA Sports, and we'll keep this one short and sweet. Just 1 touchdown on the board so far, 7-0 at the half. Will the offenses pick it back up? To find out, let's rejoin our commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Heward.
Thanks for that update, Scott. Welcome back, everyone, for the 3rd quarter. And a 1-touchdown game here as we get you back down to the field.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Now Boswell on to send this away. And this one will not make it to the landing zone. So the same as it going out of bounds now. This is going to come out to the 40-yard line. Excellent field position for him here after the kickoff lands short. So fresh set of downs after the penalty. They'll run here following the penalty. And he gets absolutely popped to end that one. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
You know that was exactly what the defense talked about on the sidelines. Getting ready for that drive. Let's send a message from the jump, and let's hit them hard.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8. Man in motion out of the slot. Caught into the hands of the rookie from Arizona State. And they are going to have to face a 3rd down here, but only need a yard at most as this play picks up 7.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes, just like that.
7 yards on that pickup. And that's good for a new set of downs for New Orleans.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
They run the counter to Achane. He finds space for a few yards that time. Tackle made by Jaquan Brisker.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw, Shuck. And he can't find a connection on 2nd down. That incompletion means it is 3rd down.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
Third and long. They're going to throw. That's caught for the first. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And that's good for a Saints first down.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Running with Achane here out of the gun. And they're going to be humbled here on first down. Going to wind up losing yards on this play. Their dominance against his ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number 1 is?
Stop the run.
And they've been doing it.
And that one's going to be incomplete. It's 3rd down coming up.
That's almost as good as a sack. Almost, Kate. Because those defenders, they like to have sacks more than incompletions. But defensive coordinators, they love pressure and forcing the issue. And that's why the QB had to get rid of it.
To the air on 3rd and long. Here's a screen for Achane. And he's going to be stopped without adding much to that catch. Call it about a gain of 4. That is well shy of what they needed. It's 4th down.
Those little short throws, they are high percentage and certainly bread and butter. But they really run the risk of a quick tackle just like that and being stopped short of the sticks.
Smith able to put it through. And they come away with some points on that series.
Had the lead at the break, and the important thing is really to come out hot in the second half and add to it. Sure, you love touchdowns, but you'll take those 3 points as well.
Reed now to kick this one away. This return starts at the 5. Jukes away from 1. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Steelers and running back Rico Dowdle back out now. And the running lanes, and they've been hazardous. Not quite the decorated collection of highlights from him that we're getting a look at here. Those big plays, the explosive runs where he leads an offense, just haven't been there for him in this one. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
That's the kind of yardage that's not going to kill this drive on the first play. It does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now, 2nd down becomes critical as nobody wants a 3 and out.
Rodgers to throw, 2nd down. Finds a seam down the middle. It's a big gain, 19 yards as they finally take him down. And that is good for Pittsburgh, first down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
To the line and set. Here we go, first down. Now here's Rodgers. He finds Freiermuth over the middle. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. That's 16 on the pickup. And a fresh set of downs for Pittsburgh.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Going deep here for the end. Out there on first down, but just couldn't make the connection. Might have given his man just a little bit too much credit when it comes to speed on that one, Brock. Led him so far that even he couldn't get under that one.
Yeah, I think that's well said, Kate. The positive there, you felt that speed, right? You saw that separation. The bummer is you couldn't make the connection.
Ball still on that 34-yard line, 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Rodgers. Complete to DK Metcalf. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. Give him an 18-yard pickup there. And the Steelers have a first down. And for somebody who's been picked off like he has, Brock, you gotta admire his determination to keep attacking these coverages.
Yeah, that is risk. Right into double coverage yet again. But this guy's got what I call a high belief factor in himself.
Trying an inside give to Ward. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
Corner on the tackle. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8 at the Saints' 15-yard line.
Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. To throw is Rodgers. In trouble here, and he's not going to get away. They bring him down at the 22. Drew Phillips on the blitz. And that means it is now 3rd and 16 to go.
Bend. Even good defenses, great defenses in this league, Kate, they're going to bend at times, but you never want to break. And when you get a sack in the red zone, that goes a long ways to helping your efforts.
We'll see what they come up with for 3rd down in just a bit. We've reached the end of 3. It's Steelers football. A nice help for them as they trail entering the quarter. Got to figure out this 3rd down here. Rodgers set to pass. He brings it in. And as they bring him down, a lot of yards. Nicely done, but still short of the marker. So it is 4th down.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much at training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Desperation time here. And they don't get the catch they need there. Their hand was forced, Brock. Had to try and go for it, but they turn it over on downs.
I think every analytics book out there, Kate, said you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the 4th. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback?
Well, Saints offense headed back to work, Brock. Let's take a look at their offensive coordinator there, Doug Nussmeier. And it's a chance for Nussmeier to face the team who picked him in the 4th round back in that 1994 draft. Spent 4 seasons with these Saints. First call here coming from the shotgun. Let's start this drive with Achane. This is headed perilously close to their end zone, Brock. That tackle sends them backwards to the 4.
Stay on schedule. SOS. We talk about it all the time offensively. You've got to stay on schedule, and a run like that puts you now so far behind the sticks that it takes some superhuman effort now on 2nd down.
Here's Shuck on 2nd. And he won't find an escape. They converge and drop him for the safety. Some early down aggressiveness in the shadow of their own end zone, Brock, and unfortunately, it costs them. They're going to have to punt it away following the safety.
Yeah, usually why you see coordinators call runs. Try to give yourself a little bit more room, so if you want to take a risk on 3rd down and it backfires, it doesn't backfire in 2 points, but let's give some credit to that defense. That's a big play, a momentum turner in the game.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
They'll take the flag and the yardage that goes with it. From the 40-yard line now, this is 1st and 10. Warren running between the tackles. Down he goes after a pickup of about 12 yards. And that's going to give the Steelers the 1st down.
We see it and hear it all the time. For receivers, their favorite moment is just to go up over a DB and make a play. And for these running backs, there is nothing that beats slamming right through a tackle and getting that 1st down.
Now Rodgers. Fryermuth there to bring it in. And he gets across midfield and into Saints territory.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Second down, it's Rodgers. Throw right side finds Pittman. And he's brought down at the line.
You know, Kate, it's almost as if the defense invited him to make that throw. That was a play they knew they could defend, and they stopped it right at the line.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Rodgers to throw. And he's not going to hang on to that one. They hit just too much. Forced it out of his hands, incomplete. And now they're facing a 4th down. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock. And physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
Down a score. They're going to go for this on 4th down. Before that play clock can expire, Mike McCarthy finds an official and calls timeout. May still have 2 to work with in this final quarter. Down a score. They're going to go for this on 4th down. They'll go for it. Rodgers. Caught for the 1st and more. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. They stun this defense. They pick up 14 on 4th, and they pick up the 1st down, too.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine, because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. That was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Here's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. They were on him right off the snap, and that hit altered the throw. That brings up second down.
It's second down and 10.
Again, Rodgers. Some heavy contact here, and that's going to break things up. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Well, this defensive battle just continues, Brock. They have set the tempo, been the dominant factions in this game, and that's only growing with every incompletion.
Kate, the results have been the same, but these are a couple different game plans, right? By these two different defenses, but both of them smothering and suffocating.
Third and long for him here. Gets this one to Fryermuth. Good work by this offense as they get about 20 on the play before the defense stops them. And that is going to be good for a Steelers first down.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On third down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity. Man, did he make an impact play.
2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning for them to use, Brock. Here's first and 10. Working inside the red zone. And this one won't be caught, but we got a flag here. Looked like there may have been some early contact before that throw arrived.
Defense.
So a little too much contact on the part of the defender, and the officials flag him for it. So now, following the penalty, it's first and goal. Here's a design run. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Aaron Rodgers finishing off a 9-play scoring drive with 6. Just a great effort there from him, Brock, to take it upon himself, embrace the initiative, and turn that drive into 6.
You know, Kate, there was a day when you were watching Steve Young or Randall Cunningham, and that felt like a bonus touchdown. But that's not today. It feels like every quarterback's got to be able to score, be a dual threat on the ground. It's part of an offense every single team relies upon.
They knew what they had to do. First the touchdown. Now a 2-point try to tie it.
The Steelers will line up for the 2-point conversion.
To throw, Rodgers. And he's taken down. The defense maintains the 2-point lead. We're down to a 2-point difference as they send the kick away. Brown with a return here. And in the end, he's able to get it to about the 25-yard line before he's hauled down. New Orleans back on offense and ready to go now. And through 2 quarters, Brock, it has been the defenses directing the pace of this game. Both offenses, got the same message during halftime. Switch things up, guys. Switch it up.
Yeah, that's not a pleasant message. It's such a dichotomy sometimes in that locker room at halftime, especially when one side of the ball is doing their job and you're not. These offenses got to get it going.
He's going to manage 13 yards here before going down. Picks them up to first.
13 yards on the play.
So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in New Orleans. Saints up by just a couple of points.
39-yard line.
So fresh set of downs now from the 39. First down, and they go right back to it. He brushed him off with ease. And they shove him out. Looks like he got about 6 before they did so. It's second down.
That's some running over there, Kate, that's going to get some love from his coaches. Maybe some fist pounds, too. Nothing flashy. Just trust your keys, run behind your pads, and get what's there.
They're going to pass it here. That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you got to count on those being efficient and effective.
Here he is to throw. Back to the same target, but it is the same result. Incomplete. Defense keyed in on him once again. Applied some contact to break up that catch. It's fourth down.
In punt formation for New Orleans.
It's fielded at the 14. And some textbook work covered in that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. The Steelers and Aaron Rodgers headed back out on offense. And as we can see here, it hasn't been the easiest game for him to operate out there, right? Number of rough moments for him. This defense able to pick him off twice to highlight their performance against him. Back to throw. And this is going to wind up incomplete. Second down.
That incompletion right there, Kate, it does stop the clock, and it gives you a chance. A chance to get that huddle, regroup, and make sure you just fire your best shots here down the stretch.
Second down, still 10 to go after that incomplete pass. He'll look to throw it. Connects on the crosser. And he's going to be hit almost immediately after making the catch. So this is going to be about a 6-yard pickup.
It's a gain of 6. And it's third down.
Throwing now. Complete beyond the marker. This is going to be good for a new set of downs. In the end, about 16 yards on that play. Steelers working with a sense of urgency from the hurry-up clock, continuing to run.
Pittsburgh.
Setting up to pass. Maybe a bit of desperation. Here's a deep shot. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got second down.
That incompletion does one thing, Kick, gives everybody a chance to take a little breath, really, on both sides. And offensively in that huddle, I'm reminding my guys, play fast, but not in a hurry. Play fast, but never rushed.
Less than 40 seconds to work with. Here comes second and 10. Rodgers will look to throw. Gets this to Bernard over the middle. It's going to be taken down here, but not before the play gets him 12 big yards and a first down. Pittsburgh will go ahead and use its second timeout. And they're still going to have one left at their disposal. Offense to the line for first down, conscious of that single timeout they've got remaining. Now here's Rodgers. Into traffic, complete. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. Hurrying up now on the edge of field goal range.
And the Steeler first down.
First down throw here by Rodgers. And that one's going to fall incomplete. No luck there. Just 11 seconds remaining.
Defender's not going to be thrilled. The catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
So still 10 to go on second from the 33-yard line. Throwing again, Rodgers. Has him on the quick hitter. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it. They call a timeout here. They've got the timeout, so with 5 seconds left, a kick could win this game. And there's the whistle, so timeout called before Before he can even try this one, veteran kicker, though, been in the league for quite a while. He knew it was coming, been through it before, so he'll just take a few more empty swings and line up again in a moment.